Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to Game 3 of this best of 3 game between MarineKing Prime, the yellow Terran player in the lower left, and Slayers Brown, the teal Protoss in the top right. And well, what can I say? This game should be pretty damn fun to watch. I'm really looking forward to it. And game 1 and 2 have not been disappointing in the slightest because, well, they were pretty fantastic. The game 1, we saw, of course, Brown take it. Game 2, we saw MarineKing push forward, knock out those Colossi with some amazing stim marine play. The Force Field's not quite on the money for Brown, so we'll see whether he is going to take the series or whether MarineKing is going to pull through and make a good comeback. But either way, it should be pretty damn exciting. So, the map, let's talk a little bit about this. It is big. It is a really big map. Look at this. I'm trying to guesstimate the most direct path to your opponent, which is probably through there. That is a long way. That is like a long way even to mouse through, let alone run through if you're a little tiny marine with tiny little legs. Other than that, obviously a bit of dead space here. We've got a little cliff you can utilize here quite nicely. It's a double cliff though, but that bit isn't. That is quite important. If a Reaper opening goes down, you can get through in that area. So that is pretty cool. What else? Not too much. Natural base, quite easy to hold. Narrow ramp there. And the third, well, the most logical third you take is down in this sort of direction. And what is this? This is awesome. Whatever it is, that's cool. And yeah, back to the game though. Let's talk a little bit about what these two players are doing, rather than just happily looking around every point on the map. We do, of course, have simulators coming down. We do have gateways coming down, and a command center first from MarineKing, who's just like, hey, you can try and kill me, but it's going to take you like a minute to get across the map. So I'm fine. This SCV taking some damage though. Second SCV being pulled down and being like, Probe, just stop it. Every single game you've tried to kill the SCVs and it's just irritating, Mr. Probe. And the Probe is forced to run around a little bit, just hover away for his shield to come back up. But still, both these SCVs are having to guard each other. Repair. Look at this. This is a helping hand. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And the Probe is going to be forced back. The double barracks following this up. Everything pretty normal. MarineKing's going to be in good positions, and the reason he's able to go for this really early build is rather early command center build is because he can defend this narrow ramp incredibly easily with a bunker. If he chucks down one bunker, maybe even two, then he's going to be pretty much fine against everything just due to how large this map is. A one gate expansion coming down from Brown is a very early nexus before his cybercore, so that's in response to what he saw MarineKing doing. So between the two of them, they are going for mid-game style play, which is lovely for us because that means we're going to get to see some awesome engagements. Now, looking here, the first barracks is done, the second barracks nearly finished up, the first marine coming down. We've got no gas yet from MarineKing, we probably won't see any for a while. The second gas just starting up here for Brown now, who's chrono boosting out warp gate tech. The probe, the SCV coming over here. Where's the probe? Probe is just darting and running around being like, hey, I'm a probe, where am I going? Is he going to drop down a pylon? We'll wait and see. Or is he just going to go and hold the watchtower? Either is good. He probably will chuck down a pylon somewhere just to allow those quicker warp-ins. We've seen it in game 1. In game 2, I honestly can't remember. I know that's terrible because it was the previous game, but I was so caught up by the Colossi and all of the Marines and stimming and the darting, the force fields, the epic micro battles, but, well, Marines happily holding the wall off here. Double gas is up. We've got good income for both these players. Tech Lab coming down now. Really, this is fairly normal. The reactor as well, so that's going to allow good production. The SCV came in. He came, he saw, he didn't conquer, but he did get all the information to hopefully allow his brethren to conquer later. But Brown, he's got this Zealot coming across the map. He's also got this Stalker just checking around, being like, hey, you haven't done anything funky, have you, around the side here? You're not hiding anything from me, because that wouldn't be funky. I said funky way too much then. What is up with me with the repeating words today? I have no clue. I do apologise for it though. But if you like me repeating words, make sure you like the video. If you don't like me repeating words, make sure you like the video. Leave a cool comment as well. And of course subscribe so you get one of my awesome games I've cast every single day of the week, of the year, hopefully. I did pretty well in 2012. I did manage to get out just under an average of 2 games every single day. So I think that's pretty good going. I'm like high-fiving myself for that a bit, but I want to try and do even more in 2013. It depends on how many other commitments I've got going, but I'm definitely going to keep up at least 1 game a day. That is my target. So yeah, bunker coming down, factory coming down, tech lab researching stim, it's all looking good. Meanwhile, a lot of gateways And that is a lot of gateways. That takes up to 6 gateways. No robotics bays. No robotics facilities, rather. No stargates. No tech. No Twilight Council. Just gateways. Because gateways are good units. Well, gateways aren't. Gateways make good units. And pylons allow them to be made very, very close to your opponent's base. The Marauder out, the Marines out. This is quite a commitment out of Brown because he's not teching at all. And that lack of teching up is basically going to result in this having to work. If it doesn't work, it means bad times, because your opponent is going to have a tech advantage, as we've seen here, with the starport coming down already for MarineKing. That one bunker, though, is going to have to be defended well, and MarineKing at the moment has no clue about this. As we can see from his vision, he's just like, it's a lovely scenery of a map, and then we look and we're like, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, there's lots of units. The force swords are going to be so strong. There is only the one bunker, of course. Stim, though, getting dangerously near finishing, which will help so much in holding this off. We've also, of course, got Terran infantry weapons. Level 1, nearly there. This is going to be tough. This is going to be a big engagement. MarineKing is about to finish another production cycle. There comes down the switch. Is he going to see this? Okay, he sees it instantly. Gets that SCV down there, trying to prevent the repair by the force fields. The Marines jump out ASAP, trying to do some extra damage as quickly as possible, but the force fields still go down. SCVs are getting pulled, trying to shield as much of this damage as possible. Stim is, of course, now finished. +1 is now finished as well. That is good news for MarineKing, who took very, very little damage there. Much more being lost for Brown. Only one SCV was killed. That's critical. That means the MarineKing does still have great production capabilities. Keeping all his Marines forward here. Obviously doesn't feel too safe, sending the one Marine down to check it all out. He's got the factory up here as well, giving him some vision, saying, hey, I see that there, but now the Marines pulling back, getting into a defense position. We've got some medevacs there, healing everything up, and Brown having to fully retreat, now getting down his robotic facility, now getting down the Twilight Council and the Forge. He knows he's behind in tech and upgrades quite substantially. We've got the +1 infantry armor on its way. We've got combat shield and concussive shells now for MarineKing Prime, who's going for a counter push, but there's a lot of sentries here. That means a lot of force fields potentially, and well, what is MarineKing going to do? Is he going to commit to this push? He's going to try and do too much damage. Got a pylon coming down here, perhaps for wave 2 of this push. This pylon going to get spotted by the SCV though, but is it going to be enough in time? We will wait and see, because of course MarineKing pushing forward. He's just trying to bait some of these units out. He doesn't want to lose too much either though, and again, just a tiny little gap in these force fields. They're not quite on the money for Brown. You can't afford to have those tiny little gaps, but still MarineKing is streaming these units across now. Brown trying to get in a defensive position. He does have the robotic facility down. The scan hitting, getting the vision, being like, hey, what's going on? What units are there? What can I deal with? More force fields are coming down. Of course, the more force fields you force, the less there's going to be later. Still these units streaming across the map though. 3 factories up. We've got the missile turret down in the main base. Well, the robotics bay coming, but is it going to be there in time? I really think Brown is going to struggle to hold this. He's got to keep these force fields going. That is basically his only option, because if he tries to move out, or if he allows MarineKing up into his base, he's going to be in a nightmare of a position. There's 14 Marauders and 20 Marines, 6 medevacs supporting them as well. That is pretty much bad times. The third base coming down as well now for MarineKing Prime, who is really contained his opponent perfectly. He's getting these scans off. He's forcing more and more force fields. There's a lot remaining though. There's great amounts of energy on those sentries. And all while those force fields come up, MarineKing can't push in. But it is of course giving him map dominance. It is of course allowing him to get up his armory, to ready to start the +2 upgrades. He's got the third base coming down. He needs to the only thing he really needs to worry about is what tech is going to be coming. And I don't know if he has seen, he's seen the robotics facility, hasn't seen the, where is it? Where is that robotics bay? I saw it somewhere, guys. Come on, I know it's here. Where is it? Where am I being blind? There we go. No, MarineKing hasn't seen that importantly. We've got some zealots coming in though, and well, these zealots, they are going to be able to get straight into the base, but the 2 marauders are there. They're going to clean up pretty quickly, so that shouldn't matter too much MarineKing's attention. But well, the big drop comes into the main base, and this is where all the action is going to be happening now. As you can see, huge amounts of damage being done, huge numbers of force fields getting thrown down. No pushing into the front. The cannons are there for the time being. The medevacs doing an amazing job of healing this all up, and MarineKing is just dealing with these units so effectively. But Brown, he's trying his hardest to hold on to this, but down comes some medevacs. The Colossus does now just hit the field, and of course that Colossus could swing the tide of battle into his favour. So what is MarineKing going to be able to do? Can he get that Colossus down? If he does, he is going to be in an amazing spot. What is he going to try and snipe? Is he going to try and snipe down the robotics bay? No, he's just going to go for loads and loads of probes at the moment. This push in the main base should tentatively now get cleaned up. There does look to be dwindling in numbers, but the Colossus is taking damage. The cannons are doing a nice job though. The Marauders definitely want to try and take that down. They do get it! That is a massive win for MarineKing. Even though this is now all fallen, He knocked out the Colossus, which stops it, basically really delays Brown in reaching the critical mass of the Colossi he needs. Looking at the worker count as well, MarineKing 63 to 47. When you factor mules in as well, the fact there's a third base for the Terran, Brown is just in such a nightmare position. Look at this income difference. So many more minerals being mined a minute. And of course, Brown is trying to do the only option he has available to him now. If behind Dark Shrine, what is the detection looking like here? Well, there's no detection. There's detection in the main. None at the third, though. None of the naturals. So Dark Templar could potentially be pretty potent. The first Colossus, or the remade first Colossus, just hitting the field as I speak. We've got the +1 Protoss ground weapons coming in, +1 armor already finished. Upgrade-wise, though, for MarineKing, well, he's happily getting up +2 armor. He's already got +2 infantry weapons finished. The upgrade advantage hugely in the Terran's favour. And, well, Brown, now he's got to do something to come back. He's going to have some miracle engagements. These DTs are going to have to do some miracle work in themselves. And, well, these Zealots getting taken down. If we look at the loss tab, 6 workers killed to 3. But, of course, MarineKing with just such better worker production. He's starting up on the Vikings now. That, of course, is going to allow him to deal with the Colossus so well. The medevac number really getting quite high. 10 medevacs already out. These Stalkers have to be careful not to overexert themselves. The Dark Shrine is now finished up, and we do have the pylon down here. Straight away, 2 DTs morphing in. The scan goes down, gets a good look at what's there. What are the kind of numbers? Does he see the Dark Shrine? No, he doesn't. So doesn't quite catch that yet, but of course we do still have these DTs coming in. Scans, are there any bank? No is the answer. So quite a few Marines are going to get taken down now. They all run back ASAP. The scan should be ready very soon. It's at 43 energy. So there we go. There's a scan and it gets taken down. But there's another DT somewhere. Where's that other DT chilling? It's in here somewhere. I know it is. Just hiding down here, but there's a missile turret. So the DT is currently in a very aggressive fight against SCVs. The good damage was done though, so 10 workers have been killed, but still a big lead there for MarineKing with his third base. The pylon coming down here now saying, well, I've got to take my third base to catch up with this, so that's really how it's going to go down. Meanwhile, the medevacs all picked up. It's all looking good. Looking at the loss tab, MarineKing is being more cost effective while having a better economy, which for those of you in the know-how generally means you are super far ahead in every sense of the term. 3-3 upgrades coming down as well, as 1-1 only just finished now for Brown, so he's getting behind so far in the upgrades. 3-3 really potent, even against 1-2. So, yeah, Brown, he is in some problems right now. The medevacs moving forward. The Viking count, not ridiculously high, only 4 of them. But there are 3 Colossi, which is the critical mass. Reaching the critical mass of 3 and 4, you need to really start shredding through Terran infantry. But if those Marauders get some good engagements off, some good stims, of course 26 Marauders there, they're going to be able to tank an awful lot of damage and deal an awful lot of damage to both the Colossi and the Stalkers. Third base coming down for Brown, but the 4th command center is 3/4 done for MarineKing, who is now maxed out at 200 of 200, compared to, if we rounded up the 140 of Brown, that means a 60 supply advantage to MarineKing. If we look at the army supply, it's looking pretty comfortable. But the Colossi could make a big difference. Once it all goes down, 6 Vikings are there. A factory being built, because of course more starports required, but you can't build any more without the factory. So that is always the downside and risk you run by scouting with a factory, because buildings should be buildings, not flying scouts. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. The Vikings over the high ground. They're in a good position, but MarineKing doesn't feel like he's got it quite yet. A couple of volleys go off, and, well, good engagement angles for MarineKing right now, who's trying to snipe off those Colossi ASAP. One falls, the second one goes down, all 3 fall, and that is going to be GG right there. Because without those Colossi, this gateway force just gets absolutely decimated, and there is the GG, and MarineKing Prime takes this series 2-1. So it was awesome. I hope you did enjoy. Please like the video, please subscribe, and leave a cool comment. That'd be sweet. Follow me on Twitter as well, because why not? Send me a tweet. What do you think? And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow for yet another new cast. I was Madals. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.